Like this. A little longer. Alright, do a quick lot today. Start at the 5-minute mark. Just want to talk about this. Today is the 21st, 22nd, 23rd. 2 more days. 2 more days into the fast. We're going to do the Daniel fast on the 24th. That's going to be after the Sabbath. And we're going to do it the right way. We're going to do the fast the right way, the way it's supposed to be. And the way that will be good for growth. That will be what is called the Daniel fast. Wait a couple more seconds. All right. So I just wanted to, as always, start off with the Lord's Prayer and talk about this Daniel fast that's going to happen. And I wanted to go over all the Gospels, but first let me start with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father in heaven, honored be thy name. May thy kingdom come. May thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us each day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses as forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us on a righteous path and guard us from the evil one. So for the next 4 days, not today, but the next 4 days, we're going to go over the gospel. I'm going to start with each one and just let it play out. And another reason why I'm doing that is for personal reasons, for this animation I'm working on, just to get a good refresher on it. I just want to play all 4 before I proceed forward with that. And obviously, like I was saying before, if anyone see this, if you want to do the Daniel fast, it's going to be a decent sized group doing the Daniel fast, so you won't have to feel like you're doing it alone. And if you ever needed to make a change, or you just wanted to make your faith stronger, this is definitely something that's good for that. And obviously, the things that you got to do for that fast, you may have looked up the Daniel fast, and they say that is a vegan fast, but it's not really a vegan fast. It's just a fast where you want to eat clean food. Obviously, the reason why Daniel didn't eat the food in the kingdom of Babylon was because that food was not clean. It's wine, which a child shouldn't drink, and it's unclean meats. But necessarily, all you need is clean meats. If you go meats, if that's what you go by. Otherwise, definitely fruits and vegetables and all the grains and all those things. And we'll do that on the 24th. And on the 24th, when we do the fast, these are important things to remember. You gotta at least pray 3 times a day. So that's obviously the best time to start is in the morning. That should be start number 1. Like I said before, if you got to tie a string on you, if you got to do something to remind you that you're doing the fast so that one day you don't wake up and forget, it's very, very important. It's very important because step number 2, which is one I believe is the most important, do not sin. Now, one of the things that a lot of the people teach nowadays is that everyone sins every day. You should not be sinning every day. You should not be sinning every day. That's not true. Everyone doesn't sin every day. You have to choose to do the righteous thing. Now, a wicked person sins every day, and an unholy person sins every day. But remember what Messiah says: "Let the righteous be righteous, and let the wicked be wicked." So when you do the fast, any type of fast, obviously a fast is for spiritual growth. So that means no sinning. So that should be right off the get-go. So if you know it's to be sin, steer clear of it, because you shouldn't be doing it anyways, but definitely not on a fast. Also, another thing that's important is just to make every day, do the most that you can every day. Make it count. Make the day count. Make yourself grow, learn something, start something, accomplish it. If you got to do something, someone tell you to do something, do it to your best. Do what Yeshua says. If someone says go a mile, walk 2. If someone wants your coat, give them your other coat too. Or if they want that, give them that. Whatever it is, make it more so. So that's another reason why we're going to go over the Gospels on these days, because in order to understand a fast, you must understand that the reason why you're doing the fast is for spiritual growth. As the Messiah, when he talked about certain things like the strong demons, you would need to fast and pray in order to be stronger spiritually to go against them. But I just wanted to talk about the Gospels. I'm going to go over the Gospels and let it play. I was looking at Netflix because I got a quick free month of it, and I found some Gospels on it that I'm just going to just let them play. And I'll just let that to summarize all 4 of them. Obviously, they all are in agreement. The sequences may be a little different because that's how it is when you're recording events. When it's told from a different person, it may be in different sequence, but it's all the same events. It could be where, just like if you go to a carnival, one person might be at one end of the carnival, another person might be at another end of the carnival. So you might be seeing the same event, but in different ways. So that's just the Gospels right there. That's what we're gonna go over. I'm gonna do some recordings of it, and then we're gonna check it out a little later. And with that, I just wanted to go over that, and obviously the Daniel fast, just the rules of it and the understanding of it. Because if we want to do a change on this fast, if we want the fast to actually be a fast, we got to commit. We got to completely commit. It's only going to be not 14 days, 21 days. 21 days out of 365 days a year. That's not a not a lot of time. But you want to commit when we do it. If you do the fast, if that's what you so be, or even if you do a fast, if you do any fast, commit all that you can into it. Because a fast is you deciding not to feed the flesh. That's the most important thing about the fast. Any fast, you're deciding not to feed the flesh, whether it be because you can fast. There's a lot of different types of fast you can do. What do you fast from technology? What do you fast from food? What do you fast from certain people? What do you fast from? Whatever it be. But any fast, whatever you do, it's the most important thing to the fast is not the sin, because that's what you're committing to the Spirit. You put yourself into the presence of the Lord when you're fasting, because that's who's taking care of you in a fast. You understand when you think about Messiah when he was fasting. Obviously, when he was stressing out the body, he was in the presence of the Lord for 40 days and 40 nights. Moses, when he went up to the mountain of Sinai, he was in the presence of the Lord 40 days and 40 nights. Elijah went up to the same mountain, and he was in the presence of the Lord for 40 days and 40 nights. It's the same thing. It's all fasting. The Lord is what keeps you alive for those days. You give honor to him, because when you're fasting, you're in his hands. You're in his hands when it comes to those things. Obviously, that doesn't mean that you're a God that you can go fasting for a year or so be it. And if the Lord commands, then yeah, you can do it. But if you shouldn't just tempt the Lord and think that you can fast for 100 days without eating. As we know, even Paul told certain ones when they should eat, when they were fasting 2 weeks, and he seen that they were deteriorating. So we have an understanding that this fast, obviously, if we want to commit to it, we got to commit our whole self to it. We got to commit our whole self, and that's not just a partial. And it's not just food that we're sustaining from. We're sustaining from any type of corruption. It's a fast to kind of, the best way to explain it, you want to think like Daniel. You want to think like Daniel when it comes to these fasts. And obviously, if you do it as the Messiah, then surely you'll do it as Daniel, because obviously we know the Messiah is perfect without sin. And as we see with Daniel, he is known to be so innocent, the mouth of the lion's closed. So it's always good when you're doing these things, if you choose to make a change or you choose to strengthen yourself, it's always good to do it and commit to it. It's always good. And sometimes you may need a group. Sometimes you may need a group to do it. So that's what we're going to do on the 24th. Because I got some brothers who want to strengthen themselves. And why not? Let's do it together on the 24th. And let's not fail. I want to make sure that it's important that all the brothers understand that if you start this, you're committed to it. That means everything that has been bound to it. I mean, not to sin, all the things with it. So if you can't do it, don't do it. Don't start it. But if you can do it, start it. So that's one of the biggest things about the fast. Whenever you do a fast, you got to commit to it and complete it. Got to complete it all the way. It's the same thing like a Nazirite vow. If you know what a Nazirite vow, there's certain laws and certain ways about it. If someone touches a dead body and they have a Nazirite vow, it's over. The vow is over. And it's the same thing with sin when it comes to a fast. You sin, the fast is over. It's completely over. All that you did was for nothing. That's what happens. Because you want to start the fast and end the fast. It's like a successive time. When you set a time and you complete it. So that's what we're going to do on the 24th. So that's in about 3 days. So that's what we're going to do. And, but yeah, that's all I want to do. Tomorrow, I'm gonna have the recordings for some of these, and we're just gonna go over Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. So we'll go in that order. We go Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and that's how we'll go. Or I don't know. We'll see what order we'll go in, because maybe I'll start with the shorter gospel first, Mark, and then go in progression of whatever is shorter and whatever is longer, and maybe I'll do Matthew last. I'm thinking maybe I'll do Mark, Luke, John, and Matthew, and longest to shortest. But yeah, that's nothing much today. That's just a short thing I just want to talk about before I start it. That's what we're gonna do, and we'll do that in the following days. And whoever wants to do the fast again, we're gonna start on the 24th. And with that, family, that's all I got right now. So be blessed, be beloved,